women, had some children. That, all right, turn on. Well, hi, everybody. I'm about to go live. Let me turn it down. I'm about to go live. Play it. That's me airbrushing a fucking back in 2010, I think it was. I was airbrushing. Yeah. In all the dark colors first. So, turn on. Well, hi, and the compression, the paintwork, artwork. Everybody probably see. You see when it blanks out and it gets. I'm using a February of the next year, so because I coded them prop. Did the hot pink in the eyes. So that's hot pink. Why do you have music playing? Because I was airbrushing. So they did what they taught the women how to do black magic, how to do glasses. Glasses. All right, turn on. Well, hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm from live chat. Remember to guard your private. Yeah, abide by our community guidelines. So yeah, I'm airbrushing. This is a pre-recorded, but I wanted to get on the YouTube. So this is how it is. I got it turned down low because of the music playing, and I don't want to get copyrighted restrictions on here. I'm gonna turn it back up in a minute and see if the music's still playing. But this is me airbrushing. When I was married to my second wife, I was airbrushing. This was back in 2010. Yep, that's me. See? Oh, you don't see my face. Let me put it back so you can see my face. You see his hand, y'all? Say that's me. His big, small hand. Airbrushing. Rewind it back a little bit. What did you do? So, because it's a video. That's good. So you see, it's a video. I recorded myself airbrushing this back then. So I'm gonna turn it down some in case I could upload this to YouTube so that they won't copyright me. Friends, copyright me, but you can't even hear it no more. Yeah, you don't need to hear the music. That's what I want. So you see, I had prepared I wiped it down with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, to get all the dirt or oil and stuff off of it. And you see, I'm preparing. So there I am. There's my face. See, it's on the TV. I want you to see that this is a video. I'm free-handed. Starting to, this is double action airbrush. See, I have to talk it out now because I'm talking on a video, but because I got music playing, and if I decide to upload it to YouTube, if I can't, I'll get flagged if I'm having that music play. See, this is when I was celebrating Halloween. I was celebrating Halloween back in 2010. I was celebrating Halloween up until about 2018. I think the last time I took them trick or treat, was it was about what? 18, about 2018. So I had stopped really getting into the Halloween film as I was learning more about it. But I am an artist, so if somebody asked me to draw something, but I did this one on my own. This was my own design. I was doing this for my house. I think, or did somebody buy this one? Somebody might have brought this. I might have been doing it for a customer. So, hello.
Dad, look what book keeps.
Hello, Jay. How y'all doing? Let me put my glasses on because I can't. My glasses is. I really need to get some noise.
Hi. Hi, Linda. Croker. How you doing?
So if you guys like, y'all can tap the screen, share it. But this is when I was doing airbrush work and back in my days. But now I don't celebrate Halloween and stuff anymore. Me and my son. Stuff I tell them, like they wanted to go trick or treating. Their school was having some stuff. I said, we don't do the Halloween thing anymore. So they understand. So I get them to understand that we're not doing that anymore. Not because I didn't like it, because I like getting the candy, but because we are believers now, we should not be serving other gods, especially evil spirits, celebrating evil spirits. Hello, Ginger. Too Spicy. How you doing? Jets. Joy, how y'all doing? Well, I'm trying to explain the video. So right now I'm doing the outer colors. I'm doing the shading under the eye and under the nose. I'm working in all the dark colors first. So, but I'm explaining what I'm doing because I did do this. This is my art airbrush work that I did back in my days. That's why I want y'all to see a little bit of my face. So y'all can see that that's me. That's me actually. I don't know if I'm gonna actually show my face so y'all can see my full face, but that is. I just wanted to show this so some people could see some of the stuff that I did. I talked on someone's live earlier, and I told them I use Airhead as my username because I used to airbrush. Airbrush, you use air, so I use that as my nickname. For my TikTok. I used Airhead. So because I used to airbrush. And plus my business, when I did have it going as an airbrush artist, it was Air Fanatics. That's why if you actually my YouTube, I tell you it's Air Fanatics. My YouTube, not my YouTube, but my email is YouTube. My email is Air Fanatics. See, I'm putting in the lines for the teeth. I'm doing like an angry kind of pumpkin. You know, when you airbrush your pumpkin and you clear coat it, and you clear coat the stem and the bottom part of the pumpkin, it lasts longer. So I used to have pumpkins that would last me all the way into like February of the next year. So, because I coated them properly, so I'm doing like the lip, the bottom lip of the mouth right now. So I'm using a Pache airbrush double action. I only have one jar. I think no, a couple of jars. Not a multi-gun system, but not a full multi-gun system. So, but it is. I changing colors. I will be changing colors after a while, so you can see the different colors. So I know everybody probably should see. You see when it blanks out and it gets darker, that's compressor coming on. The compressor is loud. So that's another reason why I got it turned down too, because when that compressor come on, it's loud. You know, because it's not a silent compressor that I'm using. It's one of the loud construction type compressors. I might eventually get back into doing a little airbrush work, you know, for fun. Maybe do my kids them some shirts and stuff like that. But oh man, I got a tank top on too. I'm showing my belly. Oh my God, I got no shame. So I'm about to do the black in the eye. So after this, I'm gonna say some of the stuff that God don't like about witches and stuff like that. How He didn't allow that. But let me give you a little background story to reason why probably it's not 100% guaranteed because the Bible doesn't really explain it. But we know that in the days of Noah, that angels came down and they slept with the women that they thought that were beautiful. They married a couple of women, had some children. That's the reason why it made God sorrowful that He made man, because those children of those angels that was born from these women started terrorizing God's people, terrorizing God's human people, and doing all sorts of things with them. Well, if you read the book of Jubilees, and I think Jubilees, but I know in the book of Enoch, if you read in there, it goes more into depth about actually what those angels did. What they did was they taught the women how to do black magic, how to do the roots and all of that, which that was one of the mysteries of God, but it was the lower part of the mysteries of God. It was the weaker part. God said the angels thought they was teaching the women something special, but in the book of Enoch it says they taught the women the lesser part of the mysteries of God, the trash part of it, the weak, the lowly part of God's mysteries. And so that's why God don't like witchcraft. It doesn't say that in the Bible, but it does show where God doesn't like witchcraft. It shows in the Bible where God is very angry. Because remember when King Saul was in kingship, he unalived a lot of witches. But in the end of his before he was unalived or killed, he went to one of these witches, the witches of divinations and charms. I'm gonna read it from the Bible what God said about it. But I want y'all to see a little bit about what I'm doing, and that at one point in time I did like Halloween. I did like Halloween. I still kind of do, but I know it's something that I shouldn't be doing as a Christian or as a believer. It says how we're supposed to be separate from the world. So why are we doing the things that would be idolizing demonic or these evil gods or these evil things? So I'm choosing not to be a partaker with that. So my son is right here, and I like them to read, so I'm gonna let him read some too. So y'all, I know y'all like it when my sons and them get involved with it. So I always like them to get involved with these things that I'm doing, especially when it comes to the word of the Lord. Because I told them that we're not going to do Halloween anymore. So, and then I'm about to give them the reason why, or part of the reason why. See, did the hot pink in the eyes. So that's hot pink. It doesn't really look that hot pink because let me turn this light off because this light is glaring in the video. That's another pumpkin I did. That's another one I did. I'm showing y'all. It's clear coated. It's designed. See, that's another design. He got blue eyes, as you see. See, it got ghosts inside his mouth. See, it got ghosts. I got ghosts inside his mouth, and his tongue is sticking out, dripping saliva. You know, see? So he got messed up teeth, stuff like that. So that's another pumpkin. I'm showing how I clear coated the bottom, and I clear coated the stem. So that makes it last longer. If it's not in real heat conditions, or in a house with heat, that thing will last you all the way until like February next year. Now that's not airbrushed. That's hand drawn with paint markers. I also drew on them with paint markers. So that's one done with paint markers, not with the airbrush. That's done with the paint markers. You buy them from any arts and crafts store, Walmart, and stuff like that. So I clear coated that too. Clear coating helps the artwork, because if you don't, if you touch it, it'll smear that. The paintwork, artwork get taken right off. So that's why I was just explaining a couple of those. So I know if you are believers and you don't, that scary stuff, why he drawing on pumpkins and things of that nature. This is the going into the shower, you getting tired. This is the reason why. So by the time you get out, you'll be wide awake, and I can talk to you about the reason why we should celebrate Halloween. You did not get in there. You got stuck in the pants from earlier. Fibber. All right, come on. You're in the video. So this is what's going on. So I got a hair dryer to dry up the paint, so I can keep on working. So it doesn't spray everywhere. Turn the pumpkin a little bit more. You can see his face a little bit more. I know it's not a t-shirt and everything, but if anybody know anything about a smooth surface, it's a lot harder to spray paint and stuff on it. You have to be very careful. You get it spraying everywhere. You get the spider webbing, and the flow of the paint goes everywhere. So I have to be very careful while I'm doing it. So I don't get all the smear and stuff on it. And you see, I'm gonna go see if I can go closer on here. See? Now I'll show you closer on how it look. Well, let me go back small. Go back small. There you go. See, there I am. Bam. You see the old I got a little bit of hair. I got a little bit of hair. See that? Had a little bit of hair, y'all. And now it's gone. Sharika, how you doing? If you would like to tap the screen, double tap the screen, appreciate it. I'm glad everybody here. Blanca A, I hope I pronounced that right. Gabby, Pretty Rays. I'm glad you're here to check out my video. Now I'm doing a little red. Am I doing a little red? I think I'm doing a little red or burgundy around the eye. Because, around our eyes, even though we have colors, there is a dark ring around our eye pupil. So if a person has gray eyes, if you look at their eyes around it on the outside, it has a darker ring or a darker gray around their eye. So if somebody got blue eyes, you look at it, it has a darker ring of a little blue. So that's what I'm showing. I'm showing that since I don't have a darker pink, I used either red or burgundy. So I'm sorry the person just came. I don't want to butcher your name. Thanks for joining, Linda. How you doing? The LATRELGRESHAN. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. I'm explaining a little bit about airbrush work that I did. I can't have the music playing. I can't actually have the video play. It's playing, but I can't have the music playing because it's playing copyrighted music, and the compressor is loud, and so I'm trying to explain some of it. So now I'm saying I'm about to put the highlights on it, but I'm about to paint the teeth white. And let's see. Sometimes some of the colors are harder to come out, like white. White is a harder color to come out and get stuck sometimes. You got to constantly clear the tip. You do see I'm spraying on a can to make sure it's flowing properly, or I got it thinned out enough where it's going to flow. See, I cleaned the tip just a few seconds ago. Now, you see, I'm spraying. It's still a little... And I'm not spraying all the way up to the bottom because I got that black there. So I want a little of that to show as a shadow well, it don't have the upper lip, but it's engraved in the back so that where it's carved in with the teeth at, it's showing a little depth. So it's showing a little depth that is shadow, that is something over it that's shadowing that tooth. So in our mouths, if you see our mouth, when we smile, our lip is over our teeth, so our teeth will have a shadow from our lips if the light is hitting a certain kind of way. So I'm showing that is hitting a certain kind of way, so that's why there's a shadow under the teeth. See, if I go closer, see, if I go closer, see the shadow of the tooth. So I just want people to see that it's me actually doing the work, so nobody can say, oh, that ain't you doing the work. Yes, that is me doing the work. That's when I used to airbrush. Like I said, I might get back into it. I have several airbrushes here with me at the house now. I still have airbrush paint. Go on, because you're going to sleep. So, y'all just watch. So I just stepped away for a little bit to show you that I still have some stuff, see? I still have airbrush stuff. See, this is the kind of airbrush I'm using right now. Oops. In the video. This is the airbrush I'm using in the video. See? So. Hey, you making all that noise? I can hear you in the video. They can hear you in the video. And so, as you see, I'm airbrushing the white. I'm just showing you I still got airbrush stuff, see? Cleaners, clean out the airbrush. See that bottle over there, sitting over there? That's it. Some airbrush paint, see? Black. I'll show you more after the video because I don't want to be all up in the video, but I just wanted to show you I still have some of my equipment. So I might decide to go. I might start doing some of it. Sooner or later. So I'm putting the white on it now. I'm doing the whites in the eye. You see I done did the white highlight on the nose. See? And that's me. That's whole big old head. Airbrushing. See? So So I really not really mattering about the eyes if it's colored in all the way or not, because it is on a pumpkin. So I'm just giving some kind of whatever, but on my shirts and stuff, the eyes will be solid and so on and so forth. See how I did the white on the eye there to give it depth, gave it some dimension. See on the with an eyebrow or eyelash lid would be. You see how it's ducked down and make it look like the eye is set in the background. Now I'm putting the highlights in the eye, the highlights in the eyes, pupil. See, so. So I know it's see. So let me make it smaller. Make it smaller. There we go. So people can see that it's me. See, it is I, Drew, or Airhead for you, or I'm gonna put this on what you call it later, or do another video for that site. But you see, now you see how it look like it got depth, and I gotta finish putting the highlights on the wrinkles where the wrinkles are. And that's before this is clear coated. So I'm still putting white on the highlights, on the wrinkles to give it depth. And I think I'm going to show it later after I spray it on the underline where the lip is to show so you can see some of the depth. So I'm putting a highlight. So I'm putting a white on there that kind of says that's the forefront, and the darker is the background where to show depth. See, so. The other light is coming from the light from the apartment that I'm in now. So that other extra highlight in the middle on the nose is actually the other light. I'll turn it on. See, there's no real highlight. Well, that might be the highlight from the room in there. Yeah, that is from the highlight from the room. So I made it bigger myself on the screen, not on this screen, but on the TV itself. See, going in and out, so y'all can see more of the depth. See how the white gives it, make it look like the eyes are sitting in the background. See, so yeah. I'm showing y'all closer. Then I'm gonna show you it after it's clear coated. I also got one on here where I did a Christmas stocking. So I'm gonna do that around Christmas time. I'm gonna show that one where I did the Christmas stocking. So but yeah, so I'm showing you the depth in the lip. It's a bad in and out. It's one of those cameras that, fades in and out when you. So I'm just trying to show the depth. So I make the lip, the shadow underneath the lip, so it make it look like the lip is sitting out. See? So, yeah. So then it's gonna cut off. I think I'm gonna just show it again after I clear coat it and everything. So, but I just want to show people that, that's it after it's clear coated. See? So, you know what I'm saying? See it's clear coated, see the glare off of it, see the shine from underneath it. So, I hope everybody enjoyed the video of me airbrushing. I mean, it's a Halloween pumpkin, I know. I just showed the Halloween pumpkin because it's Halloween time. It's going to be Halloween on Friday. So I just wanted to show people some of my work. Only one I have video of is this and the Christmas stocking. I didn't do any other videos of me airbrushing. When I airbrushed in the flea market, when I airbrushed in the mall, stuff. But I did make the paper in Gainesville, Florida in 2001, I think it was. I made the entertainment section because I went down there for the first time ever doing a festival. And because I was living in New York at the time. I was coming from New York because my first wife's uncle lived in Gainesville, Florida. And he said, because I did the airbrush work, why not come down there on the festival? So he called me and let me know when the festival was and asked me to come and participate. So I went and participated. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm from New York. We don't know nothing about no Florida heat and all stuff like that. So I ain't bring no canopy tent or nothing like that with me. You see? No, I just went super big, super saiyan on the thing, real close on them. So, but I ain't know nothing about no canopy tent. So when I did the art festival in Florida, it's hot. 80, 90 degrees, sun blazing. I ain't got no canopy tent, no shade, no nothing on me. And I didn't know I was going to have a big crowd. I was using CO2 at the time. CO2. I had a CO2 tank, rented it from the gas place, the place where they sell them tanks at, gas tanks, CO2 tanks and stuff like that. They had CO2 tanks that was filled with CO2. So I had brought a CO2 regulator so that I could hook my airbrush holes and stuff to it so I could run my airbrusher so I wouldn't have to use a compressor because I didn't have a compressor. So I used the CO2 as my air to push my paint and water and stuff through. So, but every now and then, even though it was hot as it was in Florida, the regulator gauge gets frosty. So I have to turn it off for a little bit, let it thaw out, and then turn it back on. Because even though it is hot and that cold coming from that CO2 tank, the condensation would build up so it would get icy. So So I would start getting sputter in my paint when I used to do the teacher see the alcohol. Then alcohol was to wipe off all the dirt and dust off of the pumpkin or license plate if I was doing a license plate. You see, I still have license plates still left. Still have license plates. See, that's a license plate. You know, still have it left. I still have some left. So let me get back to the story. But I go to do it, right? I go and I'm hot. I didn't know. I didn't know that Florida heat was so brutal, right? I'm from New York. Our summers is hot, but it's not humid hot like humidity and heat like that. So, you know, I'm thinking I'm cool, you know. Next thing I know, people start lining up. Oh, see, there's my Christmas stocking. I don't want to show the Christmas stocking one yet. That's for Christmas time. But that's the Christmas stocking one. Let me pause it. So these are the only two videos that I do have, and I was doing that one in my closet. The other one was done in the room, the other one was done in the closet. But I'm gonna finish telling my story before I get into what God said about witches and things. So if I had the book of Enoch up there, I could show you what it says about the angels and things, but I don't have that set. I mean, I probably could put it on there and all, but I don't want to do that right now. I am going to get into that in one of my messages that I speak on Sundays. I am going to get into that story where I'm going to be talking about the Nephilims and those angels who came down and did that with those women. But to finish up the story, I start gathering the line. Now I'm there from 8:30 in the morning. 8:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night. I didn't know I was going to be that busy. So my wife's cousin said, you know, you might make the paper, you know, whatever. And so I happened to look, and this guy was talking to me, and I was telling him where I was from. I was telling him I was from, Long Island, New York. He asked my name. I said, my name is Andrew Jackson. I've been doing airbrush work for a while, and I grew up doing artwork, liking to do artwork and stuff like that. And then her cousin came back, and he said, you're going to make the paper. He said, because that guy works for Gainesville Sun. Like, Gainesville Sun? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, whatever. And I didn't think nothing of it. I'm trying to get the people T-shirts done. They still waiting in line. My wife, uncle is running back and forth trying to keep me hydrated because I'm sweating. I'm drenched. I got all my clothes wet from head to toe. I'm in the sun, no canopy tent. The guy over there, he felt sorry for me, brought me a gallon of water and everything. I didn't even get a chance to eat. My uncle went and brought me some food. I ain't have time to eat, not until after the event was over. I had a line all day long for people wanting airbrush work done from me. I supplied the shirts. So whatever design they wanted, I supplied the shirt. I paid for the shirt. Some people did come with their own shirt. So if I did mess up, I really corrected it so they wouldn't lose their money out. But I was supplying the shirt as well and doing the airbrush work. At that time, I was charging people like $10, $15 to do a name or whatever, and a cartoon character, whatever, on the design. I was undercut myself. But you talking about 2001. This is back in 2001. But the heat was on my neck so bad. My neck was sunburned. Man, I couldn't even like bend my head back or touch the back of my neck because it was burnt from the sun beaming on my neck all day long. And I didn't know anything about the South heat like that. I mean, I came and stayed in South Carolina for a little bit. I stayed in South Carolina for like a year and a half, maybe, back in 92. Back in 93 and 90, no, about 93. I left in the middle of 95. So about a year and a half to almost 2 years I lived in South Carolina. And then I moved back to New York, and that's in 96 is when I got married to my first wife. But at this time, I'm telling the story, I'm married to her at this point. This is 2001. You know, we have our child. You know, my child is like one, out to be one, more little over one, and stuff like that. So this is before we actually separated, and this is before they flew the planes into the World Trade Center. This is about May of June of 2001, you know. And so, but that's what happened though, man. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. I was like, man. So let me show y'all a little bit of the tools that I still have with my airbrush stuff. I have air hoses still. So still got air hoses. Multi connections for the airbrush. See, another multi connection for the airbrush where you stick them in and they work. This here Walmart had clear coat stuff. They used to be $1. Now I don't know what the price is on them now. More parts for airbrushes in case I need some new parts. I'm just showing you a little bit of stuff like that. Now this is a silent compressor brought from Hobby Lobby's air compressor with air compression kit. So this I brought from
Hobby Lobby. This is supposed to be Harbor Freight. Sorry, folks. I said the wrong thing. This is a video.
I'm in the apartment now, so if I do decide to do airbrush work,
Harbor Freight where I brought that from. Not Hobby Lobby. Harbor Freight.
I mean, I didn't show you all my airbrushes. I still have airbrushes. More airbrushes that I have. I have a lot of paints. See, a lot of airbrush paint still. See, so I still have the stuff with me, but I haven't did airbrush work in about 7 or 8 years now. If anyone who knows me on here can verify that I used to do that, maybe a family member that might be on TikTok or someone that knew me back in those days from New York when I was doing airbrush work, or even here in South Carolina. I was at the flea market here in Latson. I worked in Northwest Mall for a little bit, off of Rivers Avenue. I did airbrush work, a lot of airbrush work from my when I worked at Starks Trust. I did airbrush work for a lot of people when I worked there. I did sports characters. I did names when I worked at Key West Boats. I did back in the 90s. I did a lot of work when I was here in the 90s. In 94, 95, I did a lot of airbrush work for people. So I did a lot of airbrush work in my time, and I kind of got grieved. I shut it down, so I kind of got mad, like, Lord, why I ain't make a bunch of money, So I kind of got worried, thinking of other people and how they were doing. I started watching other people on YouTube on what they were doing, and I got kind of I guess mad because they was doing their shirts and getting them done within 5 or 10 minutes. And yeah, here I am airbrushing. It's taking me longer to get my airbrush t-shirts done because basically I'm using one airbrush. These guys got a whole multi-gun set up. Y'all see I had the multi-gun thing, but I ain't have that many airbrushes at the time, so plus I really didn't really know how to really use the multi-gun airbrush thing. I was so used to using one airbrush because I was when I brought my first airbrush, I got it for $25 because it was missing a rubber ring on there, which would stop air from building up and spitting out the paint, for it would sputter. But I did a lot of good work with that airbrush. That was a single action. That wasn't a double action. That was a single action airbrush. We had to pull down the trigger. You had to control the size of how wide you want the paint to go up by turning the tip on the front. A double action airbrush is where you pull the trigger down, and as you pull it back, the needle comes back, so it opens up the paint wave so that the amount of paint that you are pushing out comes out. You guys, you know we do Bible verses, and this is going to be our Bible verse for tonight. So I need y'all out here. I'm about to do the Bible reading. So we do the Bible reading together every day. So don't suck your teeth. I told you it was coming up. Y'all know we ain't read no Bible yet. So y'all know what's coming up. I told y'all we was going to talk about witches and stuff. And I was going to explain to you why I don't celebrate Halloween. That's the reason why we don't celebrate Halloween. It's a good thing I don't got the camera pointed towards me because you ain't dressed. And I don't have that long. Leave that alone. What? You're not dressed, so I don't have that much long on this thing before the battery die on this phone. But I could come in the front. Do y'all see me? Y'all see me, right?
No.
Y'all see me now?
Yeah.
Y'all see me, so.
Is it my turn? No. Oh yeah, you're on turn.
It is somebody's time, but I'm going to explain. But grab your Bibles, and I'm going to read it also from the King James Version. You're going to read from, we're not going to read all of Samuel, but you're going to go to Exodus chapter 22, verse 18.
Exodus chapter.
Not Exodus.
Is it EXEK? I found it. I've been found it.
That's
And what verse?
Exodus is Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Exodus.
Chapter 22.
22, verse 18. But I'm gonna give a little story. Now, as I was growing up in Ohio, there was a movie called Exorcist. That was a very, very scary movie for me at the time. The reason why, because we lived in a couple of places that was haunted, that there were demonic presence, and we used to see ghosts and stuff, dead people walking. So when Bruce Willis and that young kid came out with a movie called The Sixth Sense, we had already knew about that. Because back in the 70s, we went through that.
Wait, what?
At this house.
You went to the 70s?
No, I grew up in the 70s. So my uncle them used to live in this house. It was a greenhouse in Ohio. I was born in Ohio, grew up in New York. Now I live in South Carolina. Also lived in Florida for a little while, as I told my story. And I also did airbrushed work in Florida too as well. I lived in Florida for about a year and a half until my mom got sick. And they said they didn't think she was going to make it back in 2002. But she ended up passing away in the day after Christmas in 2003. So she lived a whole other year after she had told me when I was living in Florida that she wasn't going to make it, probably through after Christmas in 2022. But she lived up until 2023, the day after Christmas. So, and I got a video for that too. I got a video I'm going to show y'all the Christmas stocking one. And I'm going to also, stop before you mess something up.
What?
And I'm going to also play my message that I did in church. They let me preach in 2005. That was like 2 years after my mother passed away. So they let me preach in the church, and I got a recording of it, and I'm going to play it, and I'm going to correct some of my mistakes, and I'm going to have Bible verses to some of the things that I said in there to back up some of the things that I said. So, but right now we're talking about Halloween. We're talking about Halloween. So in the greenhouse, it was haunted, and the demons said that they wanted to possess one of the children. I can move this now, because I'm done with that video. I'm going to plug it up. They said that they wanted to possess one of the children. Matter of fact, give me my, I got that, charger. Where my charger at? It's still over there. Yeah. I got a portable charger. I forgot about that. I have a portable charger. Yes, and it's charged. So I can keep it on the TV. So, because I don't know how to turn the screen while I'm recording. So,
you don't?
So we would go through different things, demonic things. The dogs would notice, because we had several dogs, and then they had puppies, and they would notice demonic presence. So the demonic presence killed a couple of the animals, knocked stuff over on them, puppies and stuff, and they died and stuff like that. So one night my mom, because my mom used to do witchcraft, my mom used to do that root stuff and do the seances and tell you, look in the mirror, call, say Mary, you know, that Mary Papa, Mary whatever, jump and stuff like that, Bloody Mary. Yeah, that. She used to tell us to do the Bloody Mary stuff. We did all that crazy stuff. We used to go and see where people had accidents, and they said if it was raining, if you go there at a certain time, you would see this ghost looking for a head and stuff like that. We did all of that. And we did see. We actually saw the stuff. We actually saw, let me put it back on the pumpkin. Put it back on the pumpkin. Let's take the Christmas one off, the background off.
Oh, I'm pumpkin.
And we're gonna do the pumpkin.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, we got the tape. The tape is here. Put it on the pumpkin. Just put it back on the pumpkin and just pause it. You could have put on the second one. The second one was the finished product.
Oh. Hey.
So let it play a little bit so it can pick up the big pumpkin, so you can see the whole pumpkin. Let me pick the whole pumpkin up.
This the end?
Yeah, that's after it was clear coated.
Okay.
So
Look like that.
when I turn it so you can see the whole face, you can pause it. That way the people will see the screen as I'm talking. But the reason why my mom eventually stopped doing the seances and stuff like that, doing that root stuff, because, yeah, you pause it right there. Because she said one day she was doing that for somebody that it felt like that her spirit, that the demons were, or the demonic presence was pulling her spirit out of her. So she stopped doing it. So my mom used to tell people things and it used to come to pass. She said she told her brother, which is my uncle, the same one I'm talking about, we lived in his grand house that was haunted. She told him one time in his younger days that not to go to a certain place in Ohio, Elyria City, this store in Ohio, Elyria City, that he would get into an accident and he would end up in a full body cast. So he didn't listen to her. You know, they thought my mom was crazy. You, whatever. You doing all that voodoo witch stuff. That stuff ain't true and stuff like that. Sure enough, he went and ended up having an accident, hitting a street pole. Pole fell on his car. He ended up in a full body cast. You know, well, from his neck to his feet. And so my mom used to tell people things and it would come to pass. I don't know if she probably thought it was good, but it could have been demonic presence telling her that this is what they was going to be doing to people. And when she told them and they did it, it made it look like she was telling, that she was able to tell people future or whatever. And we're going to get into the story with that when we talk about Paul, when he cast out that spirit of divination out of that woman in the book of Acts. And so the spirit of divination means they're able to tell people's future, like fortune tellers and stuff like that. So I'm just giving you a story of part of my life and what we experienced. And so yeah, she said that's the reason why she stopped doing it. But my mom used to tell us stuff. She said, look over there. The headless horseman is standing over there. At the window. You look at the window, you see some kind of figure, look like the headless horseman and stuff like that. My uncle was scared to go upstairs and get his. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it stopped working. Oh, come on, man.
It look like the internet messed up. Well, y'all, Lord, that might be it for that story. Hopefully I can get back to it tomorrow. Oh, here we go. Come on. I don't know what's going on.
Take a spare key.
Oh, don't tell me mess up. It messed up on me, y'all. So, guess I gotta figure out how to get it to playing again. Man. So, sorry, folks. That's it. Peace. Good night.